I remember one thing that always stuck in my mind. There was a Master Chief faculty. So Master Chief faculty, who died in 2017, but he was had a big impact on all of us at Team One at the time. But I remember him telling me a story that there was a Vietnam guy that had come home that had done like a pretty heroic deployment in Vietnam. And that guy was fax like LPO. And they're out in the desert doing their desert warfare training. And that guy who was like the combat vet, he was like, they're out on patrol and he had his like rifle up over his shoulder and just kind of like walking like it didn't matter. And I think he was the platoon chief. And you could see the just disappointment as Fac was telling me this story. And it was one of those things that, again, he probably told me that when I was 22 or 23. I never forgot that fact, not only of, hey, don't be the guy that's like been there, done that. I don't need to be fired up for training anymore. But also what an impact that has on everybody else. And you don't want to be like that. Then fast forward however many years, I was now at Tradet, West Coast Tradet, and I had a guy that's a great guy, and he was in Ramadi with me as a new guy, and now he's in his second platoon, and we're out at the Mount facility, and like, you know, we're training's hard and kicking ass and blah blah blah. And I talked to him about whatever, but I remember him saying to me, he says, I'm kind of getting burnt out. And this was during Mount training in his second platoon. And I'm like, I go, hey bro, you remember when you and I were in a workup together? And he goes, yeah. And I go, that was my 7th workup. And he was like, he just got that look on his face and he goes, Roger that, because I was fired up in my 7th freaking time to go. Let's rock and roll, like taking everything seriously. And that's just what you want to do. So that infection can spread. And it's a hard pill to swallow. Team guys want to go to combat. That's what they want to do. And when they don't get the chance, it hurts. But like you said, you got to pick it up. Okay, this is what we're doing. Let's do it to the best of our ability. And the only thing you can do is just keep going on deployments. Like the God of War is going to do what he's going to do. And hopefully you get blessed by him. And if that happens, great. And if it doesn't happen, keep working because he's watching. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, and you saw it. You know, guys would, kind of have to get through that rotation, but then the next one they go back, or they get another shot at combat, and we all knew eventually it was going to calm down anyway, but nobody knows when, and you don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss it.
And I really felt for the new guys because all they're seeing is their friends that are going, and they didn't do anything wrong. And that was really a big kind of complaint that I had about how it was perceived is, we're waiting for, if they get into trouble, then we get into that spot. It's like, well, so are we here because we got in trouble? How do we end up here?
And are we hoping that our teammates are screwed up?
Yeah.
Because that's not a good attitude to have.
So we get that spot. So my thing was, look, again, the war is bigger than just what's going on in CENTCOM. We have a mission to do. It's a good mission. It has value, and thinking back, maybe I could have done better on certain things, but yeah, I mean, it was what it was, and we actually had a good deployment. I took a crew of people to Africa, and we were there for several months, and we did good stuff, and I like to think that we moved the needle hopefully a little bit, but it was I think most people that were with us kind of got that after a while.